Picture from News Chopper 4 Bravo over the Yorba Linda area. A lot of wild, unusual weather on this first day of spring. We're going to go over to meteorologist Anthony Yanis. Anthony, before you start, I want to say you had a great explanation of how hail is formed and the difference between hail and snow earlier today.
Yeah, and Chuck, I wanted to show that again in case you missed it, and so that's coming up in just about a minute. But let's start with what's happening right now. Our first alert radar network. The strongest thunderstorms are now basically almost exclusively over the Inland Empire. Here's our radar at Santiago Peak. You see some heavy rain from Riverside extending all the way out to Lake Elsinore. No lightning strikes, but again, a good heavy rain from Hemet. And so we had about 30 lightning strikes in the last 30 minutes in this area, and you can see it is slowly moving off to the northeast at 12 miles per hour. And this was basically stationary all afternoon long. So at least it's finally moving. Looks like it's going to be in Paris closer to 7 o'clock, Moreno Valley at 7:08. And then you can see it continuing off through the Inland Empire. That's really the heart of the system. We're getting rain already in the Moreno Valley, but this is where the heaviest rain with a lot of the lightning is. I wanted to show you the hail here because this was really incredible. This is a 4-hour loop here of just to the north of Long Beach. And what you're seeing on our first alert radar network, it's able to differentiate the heavy rain from the hail. The hail, it paints as purple. So notice what you're seeing here as I put this into motion. You basically have an hour and a half of hail falling in just one certain spot in this area. And so what you get is basically a winter wonderland of all these tiny pieces of ice that are on the ground area-wide, just because it comes down not for just a little bit of a time, but for an hour and a half, basically over just a couple of cities. But right now, what we're seeing north of LA from Alhambra, Pasadena, La Cañada to Universal City and West Hollywood, more of a soaking rain shower. So nothing rough about this, but it is some good soaking rain. This is what Chuck was talking about, how hail forms. First of all, to get rain, you need moisture and lift. But to get hail, you need freezing air aloft. You need that to be really a low area. So here are the storms that are forming. You got the thunderstorms, but now what you get is this low freezing line. Now with typical rain, this line is way high. So once the moisture lifts, it never hits it. But when it's a low freezing line like today, it turns to ice. So the rain freezes as it goes above this line. Now, many times when you hear about a baseball or softball size hail, it goes up and down through this. So it collects more moisture, more water, and it freezes. Eventually, when it gets heavy enough, it falls to the ground. And so what we saw was it would go up, it would freeze, it came down for an hour and a half, and it coated the entire area in white. And that's what we saw today because of the instability from these storms.